Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Republic of Amalfi series, in which the Republic of Amalfi now has a new Doge, and he's from the Orso family. He's a war veteran of many wars, a legendary commander, Doge Raffaele Orso, and legendary commander, trained fighter, and a genius as well. Though his only lowest skill is intrigue. Of course, his son Leone is also a commander. Although, even though it says recently fired from council, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Currently married to a genius one, which I hope those traits that he inherited, such as by the way, the unknown source part, he's actually bright. And since dull negates it, this would be the equivalent to dim. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, he's dull, but he's not that dull because he's a bit bright too. So he's more dim than dull, which is better. And he also has a calm voice, so at least he'll be respected. But he's a military man at heart, and he's brave, just like me. So that's why I would be happy to see him as a commander. I also thought about him recently, because he still has that claim of Duchy of Puglia, and he served me well as a renowned commander, despite his craven trait. I thought about putting him on that throne over there in Duchy of Puglia, which, yes, it'll be ran by a Muslim, but it'll be fun. Just see, it's like, hey, look, there's a Muslim in the land. Quick, somebody holy war in. And I'd be happy to intervene, which is in fact my way of excuse to try to increase the combat skill. I'm already a legendary commander. But this is also to give my son some combat experience of his own. And all that. It's just an idea. For him at least. So hopefully he improves upon that. So we got our great counselors from each of the patricians, and now the actual council. Well, he would have been a court champion, but he's a Sunni Muslim. He's a theologian and a philosophical tutor. We captured him during a war, but we found some use for him. Although this another renowned commander of ours, but I'd rather give this man Marshal because he has, despite the skills, but he never had combat experience compared to my other commanders. I don't have a good steward. The bishop here knows a lot about intrigue. The chaplain will be okay, I need 2 people in future. So give me a priest, at least cost some piety. You'll be the chaplain. No, all I need is a steward, which if you want to hire, that's going to cost you. But for now, temporary position, but at least a loyalist. If I want to pass any laws, well, we don't have that kind of level. Unless you want to change some obligations. Everybody supports it. It's kind of funny about beggar vassal tax, but nobody likes that. Even though we told the clergy to focus on balance and to give them more obligations to us. Again, there's only 2 bishoprics in this republic. and all that. So again, son needs combat experience and possibly improve upon it. Let him do whatever the heck he wants for now until we find another proper, member of the council. The resources are still the same. Crown focus on Amalfi. Anything else? No, don't take revenge on him. He's one of the good guys. I'm sure that levy size will jump up a bit now that I've run the Republic again. And keep in mind that I'm the Common Sister of Benedictine Order, and later this episode I will be ranked up to Conversus, which will give me Benedictine Diligence, which I will be approached by a fellow member who will help me to become more diligent, as I do not have that trait now. Would be nice to have it. Well, let's see what you can do. Ah, yes, this thing I've not done because his birthday's coming up on April 20th, and we gotta introduce him to the realm. So the heir to the house, heir to the patrician family, we're gonna introduce him to the Amalfi. I was about to say Amalfian, but it says Amalfitan. It's supposed to be Amalfian, but you get what you mean. I requested to lift the excommunication of King Guido the Liberator of Italy, who is currently at war with the papacy. Because this is what's probably going to happen in the future for northern Italy. The Kingdom of Italy wants all these lands back from the papal states, and I would be considered as one of its strong supporters, at least financially. I mean, I haven't given them any financial help yet. Anyways, Leone is a tentative watchings I made with my steward during call. I wonder who's picked up from me. He picked up one stewardship. An Ethiopian Catholic. Alright. So, we're friends now. Soup kitchen has set us finished. The patrician Botos of Pacarios is a renowned fire tactician. After having introduced him to the only approaches me with an offer. He's wanted to spend some time teaching how to fight in exchange with my fare, as it increases martial skill a bit more. So he'll be an effective commander, serving under me. You want me to build a church? You got it. Because this has 3 holdings, and I can imagine them being 2 more cities, or at least a barony or 2. But here, it's a lot more room here. But I'm going to save up a bit more money for later. Keep that well in mind. Wait till at least you have 500 gold and all that. Pando. Easy to pronounce. Did you pick up more? Yep, he picked up another marshal. He'll definitely be an effective commander for me. For the Republic. Melee techniques up. Like to have a little more of that. But I also would definitely like to level up tolerance, because I see that's picking up a bit more. So in future we should have marginal status over them. Ugh, god dang it. Just when I was going to save my money on that church. And they call me the Just. What do you need that money for? He picked up humble. But that's too many traits for you, son. You gotta lose one. Still, he's depressed now. Sorry about that. And they say that she's a witch. Yeah, prisoner. Wish I could expel her, but no, she'll remain. He picked up a bit of intrigue, too. Not as dull as he once was, huh? So groomed into perfection. Become paragon of virtue. That sounds pretty good. I mean, think of your great-grandfather. He became a paragon when he wished to become a saint, but this would give me a bit more learning and piety if completed. Become a beacon of chivalry and honor. Sounds like a good idea to me. So in other words, well, you must make plans for Lent every year. But don't overextend yourself. You don't not want to be malnourished. Ah, of course. The peasants of Amalfi spent a long time on the road in order to meet with the priests, or so my court chaplain claims. He suggests it would be in my interest to construct local shrines in a way the peasants would not have to travel far in order to worship. Less traveling means more work being done here. Here's some more piety. On an official trip, I'm passing by one of the villages of my realm. As I leave the borders of the village, I see something odd by a bush, and together with my entourage to go investigate. To my shock, it's a corpse of a haggard-looking old man in rags. I demand an explanation from the villagers, who say he was a local town beggar who passed away. Of course, I am mostly, that. I mean, I am just, and humble and charitable, so I'll say beggar or not. Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity. So here's a bit of piety. Be surprised if I pick up kind. I make the villagers give the man a proper funeral. Yet, instead of being angry, the villagers are moved by my compassion. It's the reason why they call me the Just. Unlike my great-grandfather, who became a paragon when he decided to become a monk. But I want to become a paragon, but not to be a monk. It's too important to do. So a prominent subject petitioned me for justice. His daughter had supposedly been beaten by Marshal Roman while he was their guest, and the father is requesting compensation. He will be fined for his crime. His martial skill is good. Do I have to abide by laws and rules? My whim sounds more interesting. I gained the arbitrary trait. Well, that ain't good. I didn't think I would get that, but apparently I did. Now the nickname to just is ironic. I'm sure one day I'll get rid of that arbitrary trait. But again, I gotta save up that money to build that church. Excommunicated again because you went to war with the Pope. Lifted again. I don't care if you don't like him. What the heck? It's, I guess, excommunication, but at the same time, Vatican outrage. Letters been sent out to the whole Catholic world from the Vatican. The Pope has demanded a stop to the beatification of sinful people and revoke the rights from the rest of the clergy to do so. From now on, granting a beatification will be given out by the Pope personally. The Vatican will no longer stand shameful examples like the wrongful beatification of its name. Now only the true pious followers of Christ will be granted adherence to the faith. Oh dear. The recent disagreements has brought on a lack of faith of authority in the church. Oh, that's because the previous Pope or whomever is the accursed. It's probably what they mean by wrongful beatification, because she was cynical, lustful, and drunkard. That is unbecoming of it. She was a cumbric. I've yet to see a single saint or beatification of other characters that I have contact with. The first child. Altruda. There are many mysteries in the Catholic faith. It might be interesting to spend some time delving in the old texts of the Bible. Dedicate more time to reading the scriptures. I'm gonna have to. I've heard that the ancient Greeks held parsley to be paradoxically sacred and evil. Paradoxically sacred and evil. For it first sprouted from the blood of one of their heroes according to their legends. After all, ancient Greeks used to live in Acera, the Napoli area, Magna Graecia. Honestly, perhaps there is logic behind this. Go on, you're a pretty smart guy. As long as they kill each other. That one I will let it slide. Wait till 500. Anything against me or my son? But since they all want to kill each other, that's fine. In the past few months, I've spent many nights reading the Bible. The text contains many items of wisdom and also give hints to important mysteries of the Blessed Virgin. Sacred texts illuminate me. Now I'm a religious philosopher. (936) The Iron Century. What did I tell you? Who's there? Can't. Oh, helping out one of their allies. They are winning. Okay. Again, we will build this bishopric here. There's a lot more open ground. Despite the recent drought here in Syrian province. It'll take a long time to finish this. 2 years. Ah, yes, I remember. I need a better administrator. Good to know. Because I want that church built fast, and I want it now. And now it's reduced. It'll be done in December 937. Much better. Oh, what the heck is going on there? Papal Revolt, League Independence War. How much should they bring it with you? Huh. Consulted an exorcist, unfound suspicions like that. Or some of us. Yeah, that man. You know he's going to bring mercenaries and call the Papal Guard on you. I mean, I would support the rebellion, but I can't support him directly. Troubadour and his wife, the Troubadours, arrived from Macedonia. Their performances range from vulgar satires to political exhibits and everything between, including songs and poems of courtly love. They will be paid well, I assure you, as I'm already charitable. Now you're gonna get it back at him, huh? Personal whim. I don't like the men in front of me. They came to petition me for better governance and etc., but I don't care about the reasons. Besides, the Wanda to the left is Green Eyes, and I make a point to never trust Green Eyes. These men will be treated with contempt and will get nothing from me. I wonder why these peasants are restless. That's what happens when you have that arbitrary trait. Yep, they brought the Papal Guard down. Just to even the odds a little. And you excommunicated. Anybody who goes to war with the Pope will be excommunicated. Those are the rules. I would like to lend them money. Unless you want to send a gift. And they recover nicely, only because that man has a very high martial skill. And sword tongue too. An attempted murderer. Yeah, I can lend him money now. Offer him 100 gold. The sum paid you will be 20. Here's a little bit of financial aid for you. So that way I don't have to get involved in that war directly, otherwise the Pope would excommunicate me for that. Negotiations cancelled. He refused my offer to loan him. Due to the heavy involvement of my name abroad in this scheme, prestige suffers. A pity. Forgot to observe Lent this year. Oh dear. A disaster has happened in steel furnace in Amalfi. Some of the workers died and the infrastructure is falling apart. Without immediate intervention, the steel furnace had to be terminated. Gotta pay it. On a courtesy visit to the abbot local monastery, I observe a group of monks translating beautifully illustrated books in my language. Well, I got my own illustrated Bible, but don't worry about it. The 40 gold. You make 40 a month. More than 40 a month. I will buy a few books. Perhaps I'll even read them. Didn't get that, but there was a small chance of that happening. As I said, I ought to get rid of that arbitrary trait somehow. He hired more mercenaries. Of course. Your titles are going to get revoked for this. Of anyone who was involved in that rebellion. Why do I get the impression that this is the only person I interact with the most? There's 127 members out there. Well, that's because she lives next to me. That's why. You owe me a favor. And since piety is a priority now, I don't like the fact that you have envious. I will give you spiritual guidance once I become converses. So I'll ask for piety. Screw it. I guess I'll sway you. My steward approached me recently with detailed plans to build a road network in one of my domain provinces. The plan is to develop trade and increase the local taxes I collect by placing special tolls on the roads, even if only cities will provide extra funds for this venture. This could be a boon for my coffers if placed in the proper provinces. I should go ahead with the plan, but again, this is from every contribution from the liege as well as from the treasurer. As for the liege, talking about me, not an architect, got very good stewardship. Not diligent, I wish I was. I wish I was patient. I am not temperate. Gee, I don't know. Just go ahead with the plan. Hopefully it works out at the end. Oh, that ain't great. Thought we were friends. They're advancing again. We gotta do something about that. And your forces should be fully recovered. Nearly. Because West Francia is at war. Oh, actually, no. I misread that. It's defending against. And also defending against another separate holy war. Oh, there's a tyranny war going on. He's got his hands full. And whatever's left of Aquitaine is also involved. Claimant. I figured they would do that. To go after Verona. Because they will continue to strengthen itself. Would be nice to take part in another holy war. Could have helped out the revolt if I was aware of it, but that's too late now. Whatever's left of the resistance. Yeah, we should invest in that hospital. Because I see that disease that's coming near here. I fear that we probably spread too early. After much calculations consult, these designs were done. There was finally a price for the ability to approach the world to be reality. It's now up to me to check if it's worth the cost. Oh really, 100 gold? I thought it was a little more than that. So, it's up to the city tax load. Yeah, build it. And we just got... Because that disease of slow fever is out there, so that's why I invested in a hospital business bit. When was the last time we had a child? 22 years since we last had a child. My goodness. Been a long time, huh? That's why I have not taken the vow of celibacy, but will definitely when she turns 45. It is now booming. Unfortunately, that lowers disease resistance, but it's very good here. Oh yeah, because you live in that city now. Oh, that's pretty close. It is coming here. It's the first time we're gonna have a disease epidemic. No disease resistance in Amalfi, so it's definitely coming here. Be prepared. Yep, it's here. Shut it. Before I do, whatever they're gonna be doing, well, let them duke it out. That means that church is going to have to be finished a little later since we're all going to be secluded in here. So during an epidemic, rulers can shut the gates to avoid contact with commoners and hopefully be safe from infection. Some commoners have already gathered outside as the guards start closing the gates. A decisive thump. Silences the curious traveler on the other side. Sail it! Just as when we were being in a golden age. And now we've sealed off from the outside world. See? It'll be finished later. You are attacking in a holy war for Sicily? Oh, you're bringing Italy. This is going to be big. Will they get involved is the real question. I mean, I would get involved. Son, Leona comes to study one evening, appears quite agitated. Paces the room back and forth for a full minute before speaking. Father, I beg you, please let me leave the keep. Please, must demand to know his reason. Refuses to tell me specifics. It's only a matter of life and death. I know you're depressed, but I can't let you risk your life, Leona. I'm sorry, but no. I am receiving some envoys and notice I'm standing a few inches behind where I ideally stand. If I want to follow proper court etiquette and protocol, I should take a small step forward to prevent a faux pas. It's a close one. A second son. Just looking. Huh. No. That's John. Christian name. They have not joined, so it's all up to them. Oh dear. Surely we are in no danger. We have a court decision, do we? Yes. Yes, you do. Surely we're in no danger. Savannah joined. Italy has joined. Because they were so far away fighting one of those other conflicts, so they've taken advantage by taking Sicily. If Geta takes Sicily, then good. Good for them. It's my privilege. And a temple has been finished. A session of Vassilius Anastasius, the Vengeful. While some initially considered to be a weak ruler, perhaps one destined to be lost in the history books, Vassilius Anastasius has proven himself over the last years of his rule to be effective. So much so that some of the Byzantine Empire now whisper his name in the same tones once reserved for the great emperors of times past. There's a renewed belief that he will lead the empire to the great path, perhaps even all the way to the restoration of the Roman Empire of old. Strong Basilius he is now. Okay, it's just a flu, it's not the camp fever. But do call the physician. He's a baby. Now picked up the honest trait. Too many traits. All I can say is please get rid of the arbitrary. But no, you lost charitable. Which in fact, donate to charity. I got the trait again. Here's another chance to get rid of that arbitrary trait. Nope, you lost honest. Back to normal, as it was before. Again, I would intervene in this conflict, but I cannot go out because of disease, so it's up to them. Italy will help. After spending lots of time, but positively surprised by Marquez during this difficult time, I've gotten to know and understand him well. In many ways, compliments me nicely, and I had a good time together. My competent steward approached me one day, suggested I call my vassals to explain how my realm is working. I thinks I can present my case and win over my vassals to my arguments, thus increase their opinion of myself. Well, some of the vassals, even though I'm arbitrary, so this lowers the chances of that happening in a positive result. But give it a try. Oh, I did find him. But now let's have him in prison. Didn't get just. He can't be ransomed because he has negative money. But he is to be banished. You were useful to me, but not anymore. You take the job. Didn't lose that trait. Blessings to you, Brother Raffaele. I observe your attempts at following the rules of Saint Benedict. I noticed you could do some help. Allow me to offer mine. However, the first lesson must be that nothing in my contain about the cost, and a minor form of compensation therefore to be required. Sister Yorush, Old Prussian. Pay 103. Okay, she is right. I could use the help. Help me. After summoning a vassal detailing all the aspects of my realm, even a help from my steward, I was unable to impart a sense of confidence on everyone. A disappointment and sense of waste time here. Well, here's the blame then. So now they're going to put their focus, and the Caliph is also going to be there. Well, they're escalating this conflict, making this ugly. Whereas he's too busy. He hasn't intervened yet. With patient dedication, Yorusha showed me how to create a harem to assign my time appropriately, make it easier to structure the work I do. It's already proved to be most useful, and work comes more easily to me now. Sister Ursa is a gift from the Lord herself. Soup kitchen, yeah. Doesn't this also have a leper colony? No, it doesn't. Should try it. Sister Yoros's harem was exactly what I needed to truly live up to the ideals of our order. Hard work is its own reward. Let's see if I can keep diligent. My arbitrariness just cost me several gold coins. Yeah, this needs to be rid of. And it didn't. Italy's going to Sicily. Marquis Leopoldo Monteferrat has also joined up. You're going across diseased territory. Murdered just recently, led by him. Yeah. You know what that means, right? That means they'll have the Duchy of Sicily. Well, will they have enough to become the Kingdom of Sicily? Probably not. They need more territories than that. Or they'll just split it up. I try to get a good night's sleep, but I am tormented by horrible recurring nightmares of our people. Please help, but the hurtful words begin to get me. Just want to survive this. And I've picked up Craven. Hopefully lose that. Nope, you lost another virtue. Trouble brewing. Taking advantage of a quiet stroll along the walls of my main keep, my spymaster broached the subject of my security and rumors of his spies reporting. Seems that unknown individuals are planning my demise as payback for one of the mortal victims of my rule. As things stand, I'm supposed to decide on the matter. Oh dear. Because of my arbitrariness. Or one of the mortal victims, such as this execution, or died in dungeons and all that. I mean, I am a charitable person. I'm not rival, I'm not envious, not cruel, nor temperate. So I should discreetly increase my protection. Just to throw some money in there. But adopting strict safety for the next 5 years would just make me look like I'm, I don't know. But to increase protection, because I'm in seclusion and people resent me for that. Plus, we're all in seclusion. Who in the right mind would wanna? Well, you lost, and your titles are revoked. No, thank you. So that means Gaeta will have Sicily. How many children? Just only one daughter. Now it's peaceful instead of serene. We gotta fix that problem. Have a leper colony here. Revolt again. What is this, tyranny? Tyranny. If it's tyranny, I can join the war. But of course, the Pope's gonna resent me for that. He's hired a papal guard already. You're a small force. I'm not. Not big enough. Again, I didn't need to join the war because Italy's part of this now. It's just I like to see the papacy get reduced territorially back to the way it was. Come on. Riots in Amalfi again. The slow fever started it there, and it's been, my goodness, 4 years? Why has it not disappeared yet? That's insanity. Your first son. Hopefully he becomes an attractive genius as his cousin. Arto. No, that's Ado. I thought I saw an R in it. Yes, it's with 2 T's. Ato Oso. Ado Oso. Build a leper colony here. So we saw tonight. That's where? It's another sultanate out somewhere. That's Alidrisi. They're not involved. Ah, there they are. Would you look at that? Byzantine Empire has taken back Jerusalem. That's gonna make them mad. A bishop tells me. As you know, my lord, all Christians pay a tithe to the church in their land. The Jews do not. Quite often, however, they buy the land of Christians. Thus, some of the dioceses lose parts of their income. We humbly request that you pass a law stating that when Christian land is sold to unbelievers, tithes will be still paid on the yield so that the churches are preserved from loss. He has a feeling with suspicion, at least. And I like to be pious, and this is going to be for 16 years. Plus, there's hardly any Israelites out in the world. So I'll just say yes. It is just that the land yields the same for the Jew as the Christian. The law is law. Can't make special plans for Lent while in seclusion. And that disease over there has not ended where it started. But boom times ahead. At least we'll be making a lot of money regardless. But I fear there might be another epidemic coming. A soup kitchen in Amalfi burnt down quite recently in an accident. Without it, the poor might starve. They shall receive both money and food, because I'm charitable. Perhaps a little too excessive. But lucky us. Okay, the disease is starting in there, so get ready to open gates. Although, quite honestly, I could have just moved the capital, but you cannot do that because that's not the appropriate setting. Smallpox has not come to Rome yet. And that smallpox up there started in Florence. But again, it's starting to go away now, so it's only a couple of months from now. Dangerous misgivings. I was preparing to dress in the morning when the new valet entered the bedroom. My most striking attire folded his arms. Bowing deferentially, the man approached, his right hand searching something inside my clothes. A sense of danger took over me. This is an assassination attempt. Guards! I immediately called the guards and increased protection. This might be an assassination attempt. If it is indeed an assassination attempt, my immediate awareness identifies as a serious plot with a sizable chance to succeed. Factors that influence my final chance of survival include security measures taken before the payback event, which I discreetly increased it. I'm not a duelist, I'm not wary. My combat rating is very good, despite the fact that I became craven recently. Not trusting. Beware that if this is a normal life situation, probabilities given a tooltip mean nothing, but both results lead to a positive outcome. Bear in mind that if the situation is a reality assassination attempt, the weak ruler modifier and the paranoid trait will be removed in the event this concludes the polls. My suspicion was in fact confirmed. Might become paranoid. I will be seen as a weak ruler. There's a 9% chance that I'll be assassinated, but a 91% chance that I'll survive the assassination attempt. Likely due to the combat skill. Surprised by my alarm stance, my new valet drew a nice leather belt from inside my folded attire. It friendly gave me everything a sigh of relief. I started making preparation adjustments. I smiled at the valet and asked for his help. So, for the next 5 years, allowed the spouse to engage in risky behavior that brought disgrace on the family. How much? Okay. You gotta pay up. And also every once in a while donate to charity. It's for the piety game. It does not appear that the smallpox is going that way. It's going this way. I've spent years studying the basic tenets and beliefs of the Catholic faith. I now consider myself quite an advanced Catholic scholar. Well, it is interesting, but there are other things in life. Again, I'm a military man at heart. While on a well, the season's near coming to an end, so I decided to go outside for once. I snuck out, one would think. While on patrol recently in the mountains of Amalfi, a few of my soldiers got lost. Miraculously, they all survived with no major injuries. What more, they stumbled on an ancient cache buried deep in the small mountain. That mountain shrine that had been untouched for centuries, if not longer. They present their findings to me. One would think it's the old Roman or Magna Grecian artifacts. Let soldiers have it all, for they found it, because I'm a generous ruler. It caused depopulation. What's going on in Sicily? They win. Looks like the threat from invasions of Southern Italy has ended. What is our role going to be exactly? while take part in any Italian conflicts and overseas interventions if needed. Oh, bedridden. Please help her. One more month, or a few more months, and this disease is all gone. Another daughter for you. Okay, Marazi it is then. Couldn't come up with anything better. Whoa, what's the matter with you? So you are perceptive, you're a skilled fighter for your boy. And why not? This character is born with an oddly shaped chin or jaw. Perhaps it is too big or too small. Hopefully this facial feature won't spread into interbreeding. Open the gates. There. There is no way they'll ever get back to Sicily now. And if that man, or for them to have more children in the future, I'm sure that there's going to be others that want Sicily. And I still aspire to be a paragon in my older age. Oh yes, my wife. As good as you are, I mean, what rank are you as I'm conversus? My wife is a commissus. Well, let me teach you spiritual guidance. I'm going to make you lose envious, so... I know she's a sinful person, but I can help her rid of one of her vices. After spending some time talking to Tranquilla, I provide enough spiritual guidance to free her sinful ways. Excellent. Has your daughter-in-law have any sins? No, just a nice person. Oh, he won't, huh? Oh, I just thought of that, but hang on. Next year, I know what I'm gonna do next year. Serene Province. Now, put the crown focus on Acera. And get it up to Serene Province again. In my dream last night, I lived in a beautiful cottage. It was simple, it had all manner of convenience. I had all the food, drink, and entertainment that I needed to live a happy life. When I woke up, I find myself missing the place. It was a nice dream, all said. If I was to improve the economy, it would have to be construction for more hospital buildings to have in future. Crimea. "45 years old, no longer childbearing age. Very well then, I shall now take a vow of celibacy." Here it is. Take a vow of celibacy. "I try to show my devotion to God and the order by taking a vow of celibacy. Praise God for more monthly piety, the highest reward. My court chaplain recently broached the subject of organizing a high-level meeting between myself and the Pope. This is a great opportunity to further relations with such a powerful figure, and very good things can come out of it. It's also a serious risk if the meeting does not go according to plan." Well, you see, I am erudite. I have a good number of virtues. I'm erudite as well. Learning skills, very, very good. Chose not to be a theologian. Have no sins, even though I'm arbitrary, which I'm trying to get rid of it. What's the Holy Father like? Oh, he's zealous. It's mainly debate over faith. So we spent that large amount of money. Now you could go back to observing Lent each year. Now I'm malnourished. Lowers my combat skill, which I should get back to a war focus. I ought to get back to that. In my meeting with the Pope, I shared my fears and my hopes in terms of the faith. It was clear my words were taken with much sympathy. After this meeting, I feel at peace with myself and the world. I've been giving a holy blessing. Thank you very much. Definitely needed that. Definitely needed what it takes to be a paragon of virtue. And look at you, a true Christian knight. Bravery and no mortal sins gives a true Christian respect from the church. And yet, I'm not considered a true Christian. I was aspired to be, but I don't know what's gotten into me recently. And hopefully we'll find those answers. You can lose malnourished this way? Now I'm temperate and no longer malnourished. Hopefully lose either arbitrary or craven. Chant philosophy spreads in Transylvania. Yes, I lost Craven also. What the? Murdered by Serena Hilt? Although she currently lives in Lavanga, in Genoa. You know, she's my acquaintance, which I didn't know she was living there. Or, I don't know. I don't know what my daughter's doing now. You see me as a weak ruler. Lost Craven, but now I need to get rid of Arbitrary. Found my courage again. And practice temperance. I wish to be brave again. Smallpox ridden, but we'll be friends. Secluded penance it is. But before I do... Sardinia, Holy War for Africa. This is the Empress of Bahar, who is married to the Yavar ruler. So that's why Bahar is coming too. Although he has no heirs for now. It'll be strange to see such separate entities. Oh, a big revolt. Revolt, League Independence War. Actually, there's two different revolts. Too bad you can't join other people's rebellions because of different faith. There's three revolts. Aragonese. Perhaps we should give them hope in the future. New ruler of Italy. Guido was assassinated. Thinking, well, I have this amount of money and I know what to do next, since you've got a good gain of piety. And I know there's some people that aren't as cooperative, but I'm going to make them change. There'll be changes. So, first things first. Found the monastery of the Amalfi. A number of Benedictine monks in the region have been proposing that we help establish a monastery in Mount Athos to encourage relations between Eastern and the Western and Eastern churches. Which you need 100 gold, but it'll gain 100 prestige and 200 piety. That's what I've been waiting on as of late. A new monastery. A number of Benedictine monks have proposed that we set up a monastery on Mount Athos, the famous mountain in Greece that's become the center of the Eastern Church's spirituality and monasticism. That's where it is exactly. This area. By establishing a Latin monastery, the dialogue and cooperation between the two groups can be encouraged, and Amalfi has historically had a mix of followers from both the Western and Eastern churches, so we are ideally suited for this noble endeavor. They have my blessing. More piety, a bit of learning, and Christian opinion up for the rest of my life. Could have done it earlier, but we had our other priorities. Amalfion established. Amalfi's always enjoyed close relations with the Eastern Roman Empire. In contrast to some of the other republics and petty feudal realms of the Italian peninsula, a number of Benedictine monks, working together with Doge Raffaele of Amalfi, have established a Latin monastery on Mount Athos, the great monastic haven of Greece. In doing so, they hope to improve relations between Western and Eastern churches due to the prominence of Amalfians in founding and developing the monastery. Many have started calling this monastery the Amalfion. I am proud of our work, for the glory of God. Get a knight's retinue. Because one day we will start preparing for expeditionary warfare. Well, I'm a genius, so This will definitely work. I'll take the hit. Teach me about intrigue. I lack the intrigue. Oh boy, new disease, isn't it? Started it in Rome. It could go in any direction at this point. Mild illness, you'll be fine. Yeah, oh yeah, it's coming this way. I don't like that. Who do we have to go through? Another epidemic? Yep, definitely. Definitely coming here. No. Not this time. As much as I would improve it, but... Have you heard of the flying rabbits of the far north? My servant asked me one day. We are conversing about various matters. Fascinating creatures. Do you think they are real? You're confusing them with a real creature known as the, you know. What's going on over there? Oh, raiders. Norsemen. At it again. Hence the reason why we ought to increase the retinue size here. To fend off raiders. And to take part in expeditionary wars. God dang it. The man was infirm. He took advantage of his absent-mindedness. Do I have charitable traits still? Yes, you do. For the piety gain. Oh, crud. Before I shut the gates, here's another notable act. We will enact the Amalfi and maritime laws. Many Amalfian leaders have spoken years about the need to develop a comprehensive maritime law code that surpasses all others made before it. With my aid, perhaps they could realize their great ambitions. This will cost you another 100. After careful consultation with scholars, merchants, theologians, lawyers, bureaucrats, and other experts, both local Amalfians and others from abroad have laid down the foundations for the Tabula Amalfitina. The Amalftana, or the Amalfian laws. These maritime laws will provide consistent, reasonable, and legal way of handling nautical disputes and issues. It seems that the word of our achievements already spread far and wide. There are talks in other ports that they might adopt these laws as the basis for their own. This is a proud day for Amalfi. This is for big prestige gain. And since I'm the one who enacted laws, I will get even more diplomacy and stewardship bonus for the rest of my life. And as for Amalfi itself, with the laws recently enacted, this increases the tax and the spread rate of the technology, as well as the trade value in a big way. The Tabula Amalfitana, under the leadership of Doge Raffaele of Amalfi, the Republic of Amalfi, has recently enacted the so-called Tabula Amalfitana, or the Amalfian laws. Though they are not necessarily the first maritime laws ever established, they are comprehensive, consistent, and far-reaching in a way no other code has been. Already, port cities around the Mediterranean are beginning to show interest in using these as a foundation for their own maritime laws, such as fame and prestige. Surely reflects on Amalfi, no doubt, undoubtedly. This should help our own enterprises greatly. Shut the gates. After that big announcement to the world, because of major population centers, they're more prone to have diseases. That's the reason why it's happening like that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll close that episode on that note as we shut the gates for it. And it looks like they're going to get at it this, against the Sardinians. Appears you are winning. Maybe we should send troops their way. But they never know. Perhaps from now on we should invest money on the local military and such, just to increase the retinue size as well as the levy size here, so we can defend our republic much easier against countries like Capua, Salano, and even a recently enlarged Gaeta with their recent acquirement of Sicily. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in the next episode, we will see Raffaele adjust to become a paragon of virtue. But he must get rid of Arbitrary. He has to. There is a way to do it, but I'm sure there will be a way. But that's going to be for the next episode. And until then, so long for now.